Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Influencer Interviews and Insights. My name is Matt. I'm here with Jason and Cam. Welcome back, guys. How's everybody doing today?
Oh, doing great, man. Doing great. Had a great weekend. Living the dream.
Yeah, I'm
Awesome.
doing pretty
Takes,
good.
how you doing?
Just watched Monday Night Raw from last night, and great to see Sheamus back in action. All you guys know Sheamus, one of my favorite wrestlers. So great start
One
to
of
the
your
week.
favorites. Awesome. Excellent. So again, we got a great show lined up for today. We have an awesome guest. Super excited to have him coming from your side of the world over there too, Cam. So you have someone you can relate to maybe when we talk about some football, real football, and we'll go from there. But again, thank you for joining us today. We're powered by Next Level. Remember to download the app, check out some of the best content creators in the world, posting their content on Next Level. Follow us on all of our socials as well. We are also giving away WWE 2K wrestling game, the WrestleMania edition. So go ahead and click on one of our connect links and get over there, register for your chance to win that. We have some more exciting giveaways coming up in the future as well. Definitely a big one coming up in the summer, but then just a few other giveaways come up here soon. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and welcome our next guest. Let's welcome Mr. Money Benjamin to the stage. How you doing, Money?
Yeet.
No yeet.
What do you mean no yeet? It's all about yeet. No. Right. Let's do this again. Where's my little cut action thing?
And welcome back.
There we go.
There we go. I'm good. I'm not going to say yeet this time because somebody can shut me down and say no yeet.
Yeah.
So
seriously,
yeah.
The kid who was 15 minutes late.
I was just about to say that. You know what I'm saying?
I've got evidence that meeting invite said 6:15. So I was early. I wasn't even on time. I was early.
Mm-hmm.
On time.
Mm-hmm.
Or early.
On time. On time is late, Cam. You should know that. Come on
now.
Any successful business person, being on time is being late. Being early is on time.
Yeet.
Yeet.
So what's happening, Money? How you doing over there? What's the good word over there in Britain, right? Is that correct where you're at?
You say what's the weather like? Is that what you said?
No, I said what's the weather like? What's it like over there? What's going on over there?
Let me tell you what's going on over there. Cam can justify this. It's probably where he's been for the past 15 minutes when he turned up late. But hey, it's beautiful over here in the United Kingdom. It's like gorgeous. Like earlier on today, obviously, I'm doing a 12-hour stream currently, and I was like, "Oh, let me put some washing on." So I put the washing on, and then I come upstairs, start now, and then it was like, boof, downpour of rain. Currently, now as I look out my window, it is gorgeous. It is beautiful, and I guarantee by the time we finish this conversation, there'll be torrential rains, there'll be gust of winds, there'll be cars flying everywhere. You may have seen Cam get blown past, you know.
Yeah, where I am, I'm just in the garden, a bit sunny, and then the rain comes and dark skies, grey skies, back to usual UK weather.
It's a interesting one. Yesterday was fun, right? That was a fun weather day.
With the wind, you mean?
Oh, the wind and the rain, like non-stop. One second it was nice. Stepped outside my house to go to work. Got to work. Beautiful. It was beautiful, gorgeous. I was like, you know what? I may not need this hoodie on today. You know, maybe I step outside in shorts. No, not a chance. Got to work, downpour. And then customers walking in absolutely drenched. And it's like, 5 minutes later, glorious. I literally said to a customer yesterday, I was half through a transaction and goes, look at it out there. It is beautiful. Not a cloud in sight. Beautiful blue skies. I turn away. I go and grab the thing from the back. I come back and I'm like, bloody hell, now it's grey. Absolutely trucking it down. Oh. Once again, winds are everywhere. People trying to walk up the town, like, trying to walk through the wind. You couldn't write it. You couldn't write it. It's like a movie.
You got to time it up perfect, right? In order to get outside. Is that what you're saying? You got to literally step out at the right time and you're going to get wet or blown away, it sounds like.
At the right time. You can check as many weather apps as you want, and not one of them will be right. I'll check mine.
That's funny.
My partner will check hers, and it'll be like, well, yours says this and mine says this. So who's going to be right? None of us, because it does the complete opposite anyway. So yeah, that's how it is over here in beautiful United Kingdom.
That's great. All right. Well, so let's jump in. So what are some things that you're currently doing right now, whether it's with creating content or gaming? What are some things you're doing?
Oh man, where do we begin? So currently, there's a few things we're doing. First of all, in the content space, especially with the live streaming, we're doing a lot of Final Fantasy stuff. So Final Fantasy VII is like my favorite game of all time, and they are remaking the series into a trilogy and expanding it. The second game came out in a few weeks back, maybe. Let's say that. I'm sure I'll be corrected. And yeah, I'm currently working my way through on playing it, and yeah, going through a range of emotions as I do so. Not cried yet, just for the record. I may cry soon. You know, it's fine, and we're allowed to cry. Right? Yeah, of course. So that's that. And then obviously for the content space, doing a lot of work with 2K, which is really good fun, especially around WWE 2K24. Doing a lot of projects for them, especially through my TikTok and my Facebook account, which is great as well. To get to work with obviously 2K and the devs and other creators to produce a lot of content. And then outside of all that, I do a lot of work for Honor. Which is a smartphone manufacturer. I'm not sure if they're over in the States as much, but over here they do. And I actually went to London for an event and actually got this beautiful trophy. Yeah.
Very nice.
Congratulations.
That's right.
Very nice.
Honor Hero
there it
Awards
is.
2023.
The Content King.
That a boy.
I've never been called that in my entire life.
King Money Benjamin.
King Money, you hear that, everyone? King Money
Right.
Benjamin. I want
Money.
on a plaque. I want that right here, right there, next door to my mug shot there. I'm like King Money Benjamin. That'd be great. I'd love that. So lots of things, like very, very busy, which is I feel like I'm about to break my thing. Obviously we just had WrestleMania. WrestleMania was a fantastic weekend. Obviously, next ever had that fantastic giveaway, which was absolutely amazing, which is great.
Yeah.
But my gosh, was WrestleMania such a busy one.
Whew.
Like every year I run what's called a Mod Mania, where I invite some of my moderator team down on Twitch, YouTube, and we'll hang out and we'll watch WrestleMania. We'll do some games, and that UK title you can see in the background that was on the line, which somehow my partner won. I don't know how my partner won that, but she did, because I was screwed, just for the record. Right. Yeah, ending a special referee match, and so my mod screwed me over.
Oh,
I know.
come on.
I know. I was heartbroken too, but it's my belt, so it gets to stay there still anyway. Every time she goes, out down. I'm like, it's my belt, all right. When can we have the rematch? And she won't give me a rematch, so I'm very upset about that. But yeah, lots of work going on. Feels like it's never ending.
Hey, it's good to stay busy though, you know.
It is. I'd rather be busy than no busy.
Right.
So,
Money.
so
you said you love Final Fantasy. I got to tell you, one of my favorite games of all time is Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh my goodness gracious!
That game I played for hours upon hours, trying to level up all the characters, get all the classes. And I love that game. I kind of fell out of the Final Fantasy, but I have watched some of your videos of your live streaming of playing the new one, and that game looks sweet. What's your favorite part about it?
Oh my goodness! Oh, where do we start? Oh my gosh! It's beautiful. Like, it's absolutely gorgeous. The combat is insane. Like, it's just nonstop. I like the story. I can't even pick a favorite thing. I'm here like, oh yeah, well that's beautiful. Combat's gorgeous. The story's great. Voice acting's tremendous. Maybe I'm biased, all right? Just because
Final Fantasy is awesome. that top tier is always has been too.
Correct, 100%, and that is definitely from a biased point of view. Some people are like, no, it's not that good. I'm like, listen here.
Hey, I'm with you. I agree.
Yes, Team Final Fantasy, let's go.
Yeah, so Money, obviously I do some content on Twitch as well. I raided you the other day and you were playing Final Fantasy. Not going to lie, never played it. I hadn't really heard of it before you mentioned it. But you mentioned being live for 12 hours. Is that a regular thing or is that a special occasion? What's going on with that?
Oh, no. That was a last minute. I arrived into work yesterday and they said, oh, because you went to the honor event last week, would you like tomorrow off as day in lieu? And I was like, oh, what? You give me just the day off? I was like, yeah. I was like, are you sure? What's the I was like, what's the catch? I was like, no catch.
Right, there's something.
Yeah, well, I thought this, and I kept asking during the day. I was like, just to make this clear, you're giving me the day off, no repercussions. I don't have to do anything in the future. Me, like, remember when I gave you that time off? Can you now do? Nope. I was like, okay, all right. So I got to the end of the day, 5:30. I left work, and I was like, right, so I'm still not in tomorrow. Nope. Okay, all right. And because I need to get through this game, because I don't want to see any spoilers. Obviously, I want it to be first time, so it's genuine for me, genuine for my community to see the reactions of whatever unfolds in this game. So I was like, oh, should we just do a 12-hour stream? And I was like, you sure? I was like, yeah, I think so. Yeah, why not? It's been a long time since I've done a 12-hour stream. Last 12-hour stream was during that time where we was all sat behind indoors and we're not allowed to go outside the house.
No.
Yeah.
It's been a couple years.
Yeah, it's been a few years. So I was like, oh, you know what? Why not? Let's treat everyone and let them see this face and hear this voice for 12 hours, poor guys.
What's better than that? What is better than that, right?
I guarantee if you ask them the same question, they'd be like, oh, no.
That's hilarious. So WWE 2K, they sent you to the Royal Rumble, right?
Oh my gosh.
You had the chance to go. Tell us a little bit about that and how that all happened.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I will tell you about all that. My gosh. So I was at work. So obviously content isn't my full-time job. So I have a full-time job outside of this that I do like most of us. So, I work in retail, mobile technology. We'll just say that. And I remember getting a message from my 2K manager on Discord being like, oh, can you come to a meeting? I was like, oh no. What have I said? What have I done? Did I say something wrong on stream? Did I curse somebody? Did I cuss someone out? He's like, oh, it's kind of important that you get here. I was like, oh, God, I'm in so much trouble. So I had to clear it with my boss that I take this meeting during my work shift. So I did. So I'm sitting there. And he comes on with Discord, call, and he's like, oh, how you doing? I'm like, I'm okay. Just sat at work. How you doing? Yeah, I'm okay. I was like, so what's this all about? And generally he was like, you know what? And it blew me away. He was like, oh, so you've worked hard for us this year. Anytime 2K's ever come to me with a project, whether it's for 2K UK's Twitter, for any other content creator, oh, Ben, we need this footage capturing for such and such. Do you mind doing it for us? I'd always jump to it, especially even if it's last minute. Like if I'm just sat downstairs, rare I sit downstairs. But if I'm sat downstairs, then I'll come up and do what they asked me to do. And it was like, yeah, so we've got an opportunity for you. And I was like, oh boy. Now I remember saying to my partner the night before, I was like, it's December. I wonder if they're going to invite me to the Royal Rumble. Just off comment. I was like, it's not going to happen because at this point, still not got a passport. It's expired at this point, so I don't have my passport sorted. And he literally turned around and was like, so we want to bring you to the Royal Rumble. And I was like, literally, I was like, I can feel the waterworks coming. I'm like, oh my gosh, really? He's like, yep. We want to bring you to Tampa Bay. We're going to put you up. We want you to go to the Rumble on a few conditions. I was like, oh no. Now what do I need to do? And it was all fantastic things. So I had to appear on something that they did called WWE 2K24 Inside the Ropes, I think they called it, which is a 4-part series. And there were me, a big content creator called BDE, very popular in the WWE content space. The Haroon twins, who are again very popular in the WWE space to do a lot of the wrestling, especially like inflatable parks and all sorts of things. Great bunch. And also people like Xavier Woods, Johnny Gargano, Peter Rosenberg, and some 2K devs like Brian Williams. And I had to sit and chill with them and talk to them about WWE 2K24, which was kind of surreal, really.
That's
It was
awesome.
like, and it was like, and that was one of the terms and conditions. I was like, oh, I mean, that doesn't sound like a bad thing to do. Don't get me wrong. If you saw the messages between me and my manager leading up to the event, I was absolutely pooping. We'll keep it PG, pooping myself. It's like, oh, you'll be fine. Because originally, Johnny Gargano wasn't meant to be there. I can say this now. It was meant to be Cody Rhodes, but Cody Rhodes got pulled to a different event. So I was like, Cody's going to be there. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Okay. So I'm there like, well, how do I greet people? How do I even speak? This and the other. And even though Cody wasn't there, it was still like I'm still crapping myself. Xavier Woods. I know this guy. Drew Gulak is Drew Gulak. Johnny Gargano is Johnny Gargano. And I'm there like, oh my gosh, this is very nerve-wracking. That was one of the terms and conditions. And then I was like, yeah, sure, I'll happily do that. I mean, it sounds like a reward. It doesn't sound like a bad thing to be on camera with these, amazing creators and WWE superstars and 2K developers. I was like, yeah, what else? He's like, no, that's it. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, I accept. And so in the space of like 3 weeks, I had to hurry up and get my passport renewed so I could actually fly over.
I've got a question about all this 2K stuff. How did you actually become a 2K like partner or whatever it's called? How did this all transpire? Because this sounds like something that all wrestling creators would want to be a part of. Go on the Royal Rumble, wrestlers.
You know what? It's one of the things, and we talked about it earlier today during my live stream, where the 2K Next Maker program is a fantastic program to be a part of. Don't get me wrong, not everybody gets the opportunity to go to the Royal Rumble. Last year, they took me to Money in the Bank as well in London. Which was a great experience also. And I got to work with some amazing people there too. But not everyone gets this opportunity. It's one of these things where to get into the Next Mega program, a little bit different to how it is now. Back then, I interviewed to do this. So it was like, oh, you have to send us an interview. I did a video style interview because most of them were typed. So I decided to send a video one, just try and be a bit different to everyone else. Because then the day you got to try and separate yourself from the pack. Obviously, the interview was good enough that I got accepted into the program. Now, I didn't really understand the program back then. To me, it was like, oh, so I get a lot of 2K games for free. Nice. All right. Yeah. I mean, who doesn't want that? But that's not what the program is about. The program is much deeper than that. So, like, I tried many 2K games, NBA, PGA Tour, Marvel Midnight Suns, and so on and so forth. But obviously, I'm a lifelong wrestling fan. I've been a wrestling fan for many years. So it was like, and I've played WWE games since I was a kid. Since my first WWE game was like SmackDown 1 on the PlayStation 1. And now we're on 2K24 on the PS5. So it was like, oh, I might just make lots of WWE 2K content. So yeah, don't get me wrong. I got a key for like WWE 2K22 and 2K23, which is great. But like, I was like, what's my place in all this? Because it's all good just getting these codes, but what is the purpose of me being a Next Maker? What's the purpose of me and this partnership with 2K? What am I meant to get out of this? And it was make content, as simple as that sounds. And you find a lot of creators they won't make they just want in for the codes, and that's not what it's about. It's about making content. You are promoting WWE's 2K's games in the day. That does not mean I'm not allowed to be critical of the games. Just for the record, because I know people like to think, oh, 2K Next makes the shills. Not a chance. When we got 2K24, and I had it, I think about a week before public release, and my manager mentioned me going general honest opinion, so we can actually send it back to the devs. This and the other. We gave out, and there were very critical opinions within them from myself and other, big UK creators like Smack Talks 101, who people I've watched for many years. We have real critical feedback, and so It's all about you're shitting out. No, the Ticket Next Mega program is to help me grow as a content creator. You know, and there's been many courses within that I have taken. So, as an example, there's like a marketing course which was like to help you learn how to understand how to grow your brand, because it's all good as a content creator. We all start off probably in the live streaming space. I know I did about 5-ish years ago now. And we all assume that pressing the go live button and then entertaining people for 2 to 3 hours or maybe longer, depending on how much time that you have, is the way to do it. Man, that was a quick lesson. I say quick, it took a couple of years. Once obviously COVID had passed and people started going back outside. And then it was realizing, hold on a second, you can't just press a go live button and expect to grow as a content creator. So how do you do it? And you hear people all the time say, oh, you need to make content here, you need to make content there, and then bring them over to this platform. And to a certain extent, that is very true. You have to be making content elsewhere if you want to grow as a live streamer. And then when we're doing these courses with 2K, and it was like, no, we're going to educate you and teach you now how to, grow the Money Benjamin, the Money Being brand. And it was from then where all the pieces in my head started to click together. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've been doing it wrong for years. I'm not looked at it like a job. You want this to be a career, you have to look at it like a job at the end of the day. And I wasn't really looking at it like that. And so this next mega program is more than just, here's a copy of WWE 2K, go make some content with this. It's like, oh no, it's deeper than that, man. They've given me tools to now bring back to not only my live streams, but my TikToks, my YouTube account, Instagram, Facebook, which are growing and constantly growing, which is great. And great, if we funnel people into the live streams, fantastic. But if we don't, not a bad thing either. But it honestly, it's one of these things where the program is great. It gets a lot of bad rep. I think that's just wrestling fans in general. They like to just be negative all the time about many things. But it's helped me a lot professionally and personally, because it is like we're a little family all together. And there's so many things that are just deeper than just here's a free game code. Even now, 2024, you can't just get a free game code. You got to make sure you're putting some content out, because why would they award you with a game code if you're not going to put content out?
Absolutely.
Makes some sense.
So, do we get to get you as a downloaded character in 2K25?
Yo, man, I'm telling you right now. 2K, if you ever stumble across this, you better stumble across this. Listen right now. You all don't know this because there technically isn't any video footage of this, but Xavier Woods will know. I beat Xavier Woods at WWE 2K24. All right? Yeah,
Nice.
That's right. Now, in Xavier Woods' defense, it was his first time playing the game. But
You had a little bit of an advantage. You had an
Xavier
advantage.
Woods at
But hey,
WWE 2K24. And you put 0 in there, so
Absolutely.
it's better you put Money Benjamin in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
imagine that. Yeah, I think I think they should do it 100%. Right, 2K? You're probably gonna say
Let's
no.
do it. Let's get Money Benjamin in the game.
Get me in the game.
Get him in the game.
And then people are like, who's this guy? I'm like, what do you mean, who's this guy?
So, Ben, obviously you've just talked about you being potentially in the game, but weren't you actually a wrestler in the past?
Yeah. Thought we'd come to this eventually.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yes. I remember you asking me this and being like, "Oh yeah, we'll talk about this," and I was like, "Oh, maybe he's forgotten." So I'm gonna zip my mouth. But yeah, between the years of 2012 and 2017, I was active on the UK independent scene as Money Benjamin. Hence, that's what the character name is called. It is purely a gimmick. That's the joke on stream because everyone thinks that I have money. No, it's a gimmick. Sorry. If I could change my name, I'd change to Bankrupt Benjamin, but I can't. Everything's branded now, so I can't really change it all because that's a ball ache to change. So we're just gonna stick with Money Benjamin. So yeah, you'll see this back here. Can I get it without breaking everything? Oh, the suspense then. That was suspense. I was going to destroy my display. So you'll see my mugshot. Here he is. So that was me back in 20.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say 2013. I don't actually look that scary. You know, it's just like I actually think I look like a right pussycat now. I thought this 10 years ago this was a badass shot. I was like, yeah, everyone's afraid of this, and now look at it, I'm like,
Like, yeah.
but yeah, so obviously this is gifted by 2K. This is on my faction card. They took my my wrestling picks and was like, oh, they blew it up, sent it to me, and I was like, this is pretty cool. So yeah,
That is.
I did used to do
It
this, which was very fun. One of the most fun things I've ever done in my entire life.
Is
Believe
there a
me.
reason why you stopped? Are you ever going to come back?
Funny you mention that. So medically, I wasn't able to carry on for reasons I won't go into because it is a long story. All right, we need a whole separate podcast just for why Ben hung up the boots, and you know what? People were like, "I'm not interested." But yeah, medically, I couldn't do it, and that was so back in 2017. Unfortunate, but since then. Yes, I'm not saying I'm coming back. I just want to put it out there right now. I'm not saying I'm definitely 100% coming back. But the conversation has happened more than once with people in the scene. With people, with schools that are local to me. It's whether my fat ass can get up and get in that ring and run those ropes again. You know, I watch people like The Rock get back in the ring at 50 or whatever he is, 40 something, top end of 40, and people like Finn Balor being 40 years old and looking like a bloody Greek god. And there's me looking like Jabba the Hutt at 32, going, "Oh my god, don't know if I get back into the ring or not." But it's definitely something I'm very interested in because I've got a few close friends of mine. Someone called Andrew who goes by the name of Oscar Prospero, who has been on the UK scene for about a year now, I think. He got into wrestling. I'm not going to say because of me, but maybe I was an inspiration to him at some point. And he's just absolutely smashing it right now. And I'm like, man, And he keeps being like, oh, one day me and you could. I'm like, me and you could do this one day. You know, I got someone in Australia called Jojo, who I've had many Twitch battles with on Dark Souls and this and the other, and he's now smashing it in Australia. And it's like, and he's like, when are you gonna get back in the ring so I can come over and have a match? I'm like, oh my god, I don't know if I could do it. Can I still go? I don't know. Maybe one day. I mean, I love my daughter to see it. You know, I've got a 6-year-old child who has seen this. And for some reason, still doesn't believe this is me. Maybe because I'm more bearded and more hairier than I was back then. But I'd love for her to see me step in the ring at least one more time. It's just having the balls to go and take that bump again. Because you know what?
Right.
I'll tell you now, people are quick to throw the F word out, saying that wrestling's fake, and you know. I'm not going to spoil it for the kids that maybe watch this, but even when I say pretty much everything hurts, everything takes a toll on your body. You know, my knees aren't what they were 10 years ago. Saying that at 33 years old is like, man, I don't call myself 32 early. I've turned 33. But yeah, you know what? So I hate doing that thing. Every wrestler says it. Never say never.
Never say never.
Never say never. I won't mind it. And me and 2K have talked about it as well. So, you know.
Get them in the game.
See?
Royal Rumble.
Get them in the
if
game.
I put the leotard on one more time, you put me in the game.
Especially Royal Rumble appearance.
Could you
There you go.
I mean, there'll be, in the words of Roman, no pop, but I'll still run in there, get in there, take a spear from Roman. Not that we'll ever see Roman in a Royal Rumble again, but anyway, happily do it. Just got to get back in the ring first.
So speaking of Roman, you know, he's tribal chief and everything.
Yeah.
Give me your Mount Rushmore of wrestlers.
We're safe. We're cool. Oh my gosh. So the first one is The Rock. So The Rock inspired me in everything. So this character, this persona, if you want to call it, I'm watching The Rock growing up. All right. You know, people criticize LA Knight for the way he speaks because it sounds just like The Rock and Stone Cold. Well, yeah. Well, guess what? When I go into full promo mode, yeah, sometimes I'll go off like The Rock and I'll get the hand gestures moving and this, that, and the other. But The Rock is definitely up there. He has to be. Stone Cold. I can't have The Rock without Austin. Those two.
Right.
Tearing it up in my, just before my teens, 10 years old, watching WrestleMania 17, seeing these two men sing songs and then beat each other up with beer. I'm like, what is this life? I love it. Absolutely love it. I'm definitely going to put the Tribal Chief on there. And if you asked me that a few years ago, I'd have called you all mad. But what Roman has done in the industry is incredible. As much as people want to criticize his title reign and his lack of defenses and this, that, and the other, we've got to think of the bigger picture here and the amount of people he has taken to that next level. Next level. See what I did there? Sami Zayn, pretty much main event attraction. Main event Jey Uso, and main event attraction Jimmy Uso, main event attraction Kevin Owens, just to name a couple. There's so many people that he has taken up because of his status in the WWE.
That's
and
what the great ones do.
With Roman. This is it. And Roman didn't defend the belt as much as Seth did in his 16-day reign, I think he had. Okay, I get that. I understand that. But let's think of the longer picture. All these segments that we had, Sami Uso, Yeats, no Yeats, all this not. Everything's come from, Roman Reigns. I did a video for 2K, and it was a what if video. And it was like, what if there was no Roman Reigns? Then there would be no Jey Uso. With all due respect to Jey Uso, we'd have never had the longest reigning tag team champions in WWE history in the Usos because that was a whole part of the Bloodline saga. At the end of the day, Roman Reigns arguably might not have had this incredible title reign, but have never got the Tribal Chief, and it just all ricochets from that. So Roman has to go onto the Mount Rushmore, 100%. And then if I had to put one more, is it like 4? Is it on my Mount Rushmore?
Yep.
And people are going to be like, I can't believe it's a dancer. But, John Cena's got to be on there. Look, growing up, I was the biggest Cena hater. All right? Yeah. Unlike Santi, who absolutely loves John Cena, I hated John Cena. All right? You ask anybody. Every time John Cena won a match, God, I hated it. I hated it. Oh, John Cena's won again. Big match, John won again. I absolutely hate it. But you look what he did for the business.
Yeah.
And how long he carried that business on his shoulders, on his back. You cannot put John Cena on there. Like, you can't.
There's something I need to say about that list. Where the hell is The Undertaker and Hulk Hogan? They have to be on there.
See, Undertaker, yeah. I mean, Hulk Hogan.
If you don't, if there's no Hulk Hogan, there's no Roman Reigns, there's no John Cena, there's none of this without Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, but I mean,
you have to have Hulk Hogan on there.
I mean, brother, do we have to put Hulk Hogan on there?
Yeah, I think you really do. I mean, obviously, I'm not old enough to have seen Hulk Hogan, but for the simple fact, if there's no Hogan, there's none of this, and he had that 1400-day reign, better than Roman Reigns' reign, probably twice the title defenses.
I mean, I doubt that part, but
Not the direction I thought you were going to go, Cam. I thought Cam was going to be all excited about Cena being on there because we know, how Cam loves Cena.
My personal list, I would have Cena and Austin. I agree with them too, and then I would have Undertaker and Hulk Hogan. I love The Rock. I prefer The Rock to Austin because I'm too young for Austin, but he was only full time for about 6 years. That can't be the one that almost gets on for me is HBK, greatest in-ring performer of all time.
You know what? You could put people like HBK. HBK is incredible. Through the work of WWE 2K24 and the 40 years of WrestleMania Showcase, I've gone back and watched many of these WrestleMania matches. And when you watch things like Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, then you look at me and you're like, hold on a second. How can you not put likes of Undertaker on there? How can you not put the likes of Shawn Michaels on there? Even like Ric Flair and this and the other. My God, there is so many names that can go on there. So many names that can go on this Mount Rushmore that deserve to be on this Mount Rushmore. If Hulk Hogan never did the Rocky movie that put obviously WWE into the mainstream media, then yeah, there'd have been none of us. We probably wouldn't be here covering wrestling right now. You know, if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan. That's a great thing about this Mount Rushmore is who would you put on there? Man, there's so many options. You know, some people put Bret Hart on there, Owen Hart on there. It's some
Triple H as well.
fantastic
Everything he's
choices.
done, even now as the head of creative.
Yeah, exactly. He had an incredible career, and now has turned a product in WWE that I wouldn't say it was on his arse, but it was close. It was, you know, people call it unbearable, unwatchable sometimes. You know, under the reign of someone that should remain nameless. And now it's like the hottest thing. Or as The Rock says, wrestling's cool again. I mean,
Right.
Dwayne, I love you to pieces, but wrestling was cool for it. It's been cool for a long time before
it
The
has.
Rock came back. All right. I love you, Rock, but you can't say The Rock made it cool again. All right. People like LA Knight has made things cool again. You know,
Yeah.
these new characters, that we've seen, you know, strive in the WWE. Yeah, man, it's so good. It's so good, so good.
That's great. All right. Well, we always ask this, and we have to. The one biggest piece of advice you would give to either someone who's an up and coming content creator, or maybe someone who's struggling. What is the one thing that you would say? Hey, this is what you got to do. This is what you need to work on to be successful in the content creation world.
Yeah, man. I'll try and not make this a long-winded answer, but the simple version is make content. All right, and we talked about this earlier on stream today, and it was like just make content. The biggest thing that was holding me back, and I'm not a big creator by any means, but like, you know, I've got to do things, and the only way I did this was by actually sitting and making the content. You know, up here is our worst enemy sometimes because we'll make something and think is not good enough, so we won't put it out. What we don't think is good enough is amazing to somebody else. Yeah, it's so good. You know, if you don't take that leap and you don't make the content, you will never know where you're going to go. And that stopped me for ages. It stopped me for a good year or two on YouTube alone. Oh, nobody's going to click this video. How do you know no one's going to click your video? All right,
Right.
You don't know this. All right, you know, you gotta put the work in. All right, make the content. Don't let your mindset hold you back. And it is easier said than done. Believe me, we all get to the stage where we get burnt out sometimes, and we're like, oh man, this is exhausting. We're probably not growing as fast as we'd like to be growing. We're not getting to the stage where we'd like to go. Like before the Rumble, and that I was getting to that stage, and it was like, oh man. And I've had many conversations with my moderator where it would be like, oh, is this worth it? And then you don't know what's around the corner. That came up. And I was like, oh my gosh. One, I didn't even realize 2K was properly watching my videos, as an example. You don't know. You know, we had a massive influx of next makers before 2K24 came out. And a lot of them don't even have a capture card. You know? But what did they do? They make content that they're passionate about. If you're passionate about pro wrestling, make content. Whether that's just tweeting stuff, putting stuff out. Yeah. Make that start. Because you never know where you're going to end up. You never know. You never know who's looking, who's watching. You know? So just do it, man. Make content what you're happy with, even if it's not pro wrestling. You know? I don't know. If you like K-pop, make content about K-pop. Right? I'm a big. I've never listened to K-pop, but like, if you like K-pop, make content about K-pop. You like Pokemon, make content about Pokemon.
Yep.
You know,
Right.
just make something that you're so passionate about. Because if you are, and people can, if you're passionate about it, people's gonna feel that passion coming through.
Right.
Yeah. If I make content about, I don't know, Xbox. Sorry, I'm not trying to start console wars. I'm joking.
I'm an Xbox player.
we'll scratch that one for the record. I was just trying to spark something there. But like, if I'm trying to make content about, I don't know, Taylor Swift as an example, I'm not the biggest Taylor Swift fan. My partner is, but I'm not the biggest Taylor Swift fan. So if I'm trying to make content about Taylor Swift, it's not gonna come off, you know, as natural as passionate as it could be. If I didn't, you know, unlike pro wrestling, where I am so passionate about pro wrestling, I could talk your ears off for hours upon end about wrestling. So apply that. Just apply it. You don't let your mindset hold you back. If you let this hold you back, you won't make it anywhere. You won't make it anywhere. So yeah, make content
That's-
and don't let your head hold you back, man.
That's perfect. That's great, right? And you got to take that leap, right? And put yourself out there. And like you said, it may not roll right away, but give it a chance, right? If you're passionate about it, people will feel that passion when you're doing something you love.
I give credit to my dad for that, because what you said there, take that leap. The amount of times my dad over the years said, take the leap. You don't know what's around the corner. All right. And many times have I gone, even to recently, not to make this any longer, but like even recently, I sat with my moderators and I turned around to them and goes, you know what? We're cutting back streams. We're doing them once a week because I wasn't seeing growth and this and the other. Oh, people aren't coming to streams anymore, so on and so forth. We get to that stage where it's like, oh, my view counts aren't where they used to be. But then it was like, well, Ben, you're not putting in the effort anymore. You're not doing consistent streams. You're not doing this and the other. Don't get me wrong. Everyone has a life. I have a life. You have a life. We have to work around what we can work around. But then my dad was like, right, why don't you just take the leap? Take the leap and do it. It's about work. So I made a big decision with work. I work full-time currently until May. I dropped part-time. That's a big decision because obviously it affects me financially. All right. And I have a house to run, food to put on the table for a daughter. And family, obviously, not just my child, but I have food to put on this table. I'm going to drop X amount of money a month. I know how much money I'm going to drop. And that was a risk. And that was, again, one of the conversations with my partner, my mods, my dad. It was like, take the leap. You don't know. By me going part-time with work and now being able to give me more time to put into content, hence why I'm here doing a bloody 12-hour stream today just to entertain people for 12 hours. You don't know. And it's a gamble. I feel like I've taken one of the biggest gambles of my life because if I fall on my ass now with the content, then where I'm going to make this other income from? Well, I can't. Right. So now I've got to make sure I work my ass to the bone to not only make up that money that I'm now going to miss out on, but also make this the full-time career that I'm wanting it to be. So like you said, taking the leap, it can be scary. And believe me, it was very scary going part-time so I could focus more time to content. To the stage where I changed my mind within I turned down this part-time role. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And I turned it down. And the manager of the store was like, are you sure? I'm about to give this job to somebody else. I was like, yeah, not a chance. I got home the night before I changed my mind. And I was like, no. I was like, can we go for a coffee in the morning? Yeah, sure. We talked some things, we exchanged some things, and it was like, right, you know what? I accept. And she was like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm like, what too? What did I just say? What have I just done? But take that leap, man. Things are scary, and it is scary. Like, obviously, this don't kick in until next month anyway. So, like, next month is the big test for me. Like, oh, you know what? I either sink or swim, and I ain't sinking. Right. You know what? As much as my fat ass can't swim, I am definitely not sinking. I will paddle if I have to.
Right.
But man, yeah, take the leap. If you're listening to this now, being like, I don't know whether to do it, do it. Unless it's like something really dark, don't do that. But like, if it's something, if it's, I want to go do this, do it. Get out there and do it. Don't let yourself hold you back, man. Don't sit in your bedroom and be like, you know what, I can't do it. Yeah, you can. You can do it. If I can do it, right? I like to say I'm just Ben. Yeah, it's kind of like just Ken, but I'm just Ben. If you watch the Barbie movie,
just Ben.
Yeah, I'm just Ben. You know what? I always say that when people are like, oh, you're this, I know. I'm just me. I'm just Ben. I'm a guy in England, that works in retail, that just likes pro wrestling and Final Fantasy. I'm just happy to make content about it. Mm-hmm. Anybody can do this. If you put your mind to it, take the leap, work hard, make content, and don't let this hold you back. Look at that. Full circle.
Right? Now you should be motivational money, Benjamin, now, right? Like, so you went from King Benjamin to King Money Benjamin to motivational money Benjamin. I love it, right? So that's awesome. That's great advice.
That's a nice gimmick change there. Motivational. Oh my gosh, that could be the new wrestling persona if I ever come back.
There you go. It writes itself.
It's all happy, right?
I'm already thinking of gear ideas, and this is it. I'm like, oh my
Right.
gosh, we can make this work. I'd be like
Right.
Damien
Taking that
Sandow,
leap.
just not quite. Take
There
that
you
leap.
go.
You never know.
Taking that leap. Oh gosh.
Oh, brilliant.
All right, Money. This has been an absolute pleasure. And I feel like we've only touched the surface with you, but we'll have to definitely have you on again another time just to continue to dive into that head of yours and just learn more about you and what you're doing. But again, thanks so much for taking some time. Thanks for taking the time. You can find Money on the Next Level app. Go click on his Connect link. It's got all of his information on his Connect link, all of his socials, everything else you want to learn about Money Benjamin. You can continue to follow us on our YouTube channel and all of our socials as well. But again, thanks for joining us on Influencer Interviews and Insights. We look forward to seeing you guys again next week. Bye, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Money.
Bye.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cam.
See ya.
Thanks for showing up, Cam.